morning, everybody. So we started to just kind of ease into the morning with a little gentler wake up and entry music today. And it was kind of fun to show off our international training from a couple years ago. So good morning, Josh. Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I was worried that our comments weren't showing, but it looks like they're showing now. I was like, no.
I think we had to go hot for them to show up. So there
I think we're good. Well, the first from Puerto Rico never showed up, so that was making me nervous. He's here though, so we can't see it.
Being first from Puerto Rico. So there you go. Good morning, Thomas.
Morning, Tom.
Look at that. It's like we're right back in Monterey. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
It's kind of a memory lane start to the morning. So there you go.
Yeah. Josh, how you been? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. Had a little IBA meet and greet yesterday, so that was kind of fun.
Oh, nice. Mine's on Tuesday. We should talk about that. Yeah, we all have. Well, you had yours yesterday. Mine's on Tuesday. So I need to start rallying the troops for that. I was just thinking about that last night at midnight. I was like, man, someone's got to order pizza.
I grilled out hot dogs and hamburgers and brats yesterday. So.
Oh my gosh, how fun. How many people did you have?
Not many. We ended up with like 10.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think that's really good, actually.
Yeah, Sunday in Iowa. I mean, I don't know. It's football season. So.
It's going to be more than I have. That's awesome. Good job. Well, Keith and I got back basically yesterday because it was after midnight. It was officially Sunday when we got home. We had the Budco event this weekend. So we did the iShine event on Saturday, which was awesome. What did they have, Keith? 14 vendors there?
I think 14, yeah. I have to go through the list. But, and I'm going to call that the biggest meet and greet of the week because we had about 350.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Was hopping and the crowd circulated through, so it wasn't like they were all at once, but
it didn't seem crazy. It was a little crazy, but it
all the way through. And we celebrated the retirement of Bud and his wife from the business, which we've been a part of their family for 25 years. So it was kind of cool to see the history there.
Yeah, my light is weird. Yes, it was awesome. And we got to see a lot of industry friends and we had such a great time. We got to go antique shopping. It was great. Yeah, we did. Yeah, Josh, you would die if you saw this place. It is like stepping back into your childhood. It has every toy you could possibly think of from the 80s. I mean, it's so great. It's so great.
Yeah.
So we did that. But yeah, the event was absolutely awesome. We showed off the paint recovery series. And so that was fun. We got to kind of and that was at first, we had a Toyota Tacoma, a newer one, rental car. And we kind of thought maybe it wouldn't be the best example, but I actually thought it was. It really showed off the products really well. It absolutely showed the difference between intervention and rehab, which I was happy about.
Yep.
So yeah, we got to share that. We got to share Stout, and it was just an all-over good time.
Yeah.
Good.
Shad and his crew do a great job.
Yeah, no, what a team effort on their part. There were a lot of what I call white shirts, which were the Budco folks wore a white shirt, and then the attendees got a black T-shirt, as we always do, and a lot of white shirts running around there supporting their team. I mean, it's pretty amazing the number of people they have, and the size of their operation. And it's kind of amazing they've really transitioned from car wash as their predominant business to the detail side of it. So fun transition to watch over the years.
It was pretty great. And then last week, I see Alex in the comments. Last week, I had Alex and Joey here all week, which was so fun. They came to pre-film some stuff for TRCMA, so I got to have dinner with them every night. So that was super fun.
Was there any BJs or anything?
Well, we don't have BJs here, so unfortunately, no. We had a good time. We did keep saying, where's the BJs? But yeah, there's not one in Boise, unfortunately.
Not yet. I think we should open a franchise.
I know. I need to rally for one to come here.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Well, speak of the devil, look who's in the comments.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Keith
you,
did
I
get to
think
hug him
Caitlin
because
Hug
Keith
is
got to
awesome.
sneak in from the airport and meet those guys downtown. So he did get to see him. So yes, the only thing that would have made it better would be giving Josh a big Canadian hug.
Yeah.
You know what, Alex? To be
Let
honest, that would have made everybody's week better if everybody could have given Josh a hug. That would have been
Yes,
made it perfect.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was your product of the week last week, Josh? You were just in the shop doing the shop thing, right?
Yeah, yep. Probably natural finish. It just kind of seems to always be my go-to when I want to make the inside of a car look good.
Nice. I love natural finish too. I actually got to talk to natural finish to a lot of people at the event that hadn't found. They kept saying they hadn't found an interior dressing that they liked, and I was like, "Oh, you're missing out. They haven't tried natural finish." Yep. Love me some natural finish. Well, mine. First, I got to give a shout out to the Mocha Mousse. They got their fall flavors in, and they have one that is maple.
Yeah.
So now I do my coffee with the white mocha and all the stuff, but with maple instead of coconut. And so we have officially changed seasons in my coffee, and I'm really excited about it. So first product shout out to them.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I had the maple latte on Saturday morning, and it was a good start to the trip, or Friday morning. It was a good start to the trip.
Yeah, so good. And then my PNS product of the week. Gosh, what do I want to choose? I always just want to choose like Clarity Cream. You know, I always just want to choose the stuff. I'm gonna go with Keith's gonna laugh. Do you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say knockoff. Okay, so sometimes I don't, people will bring up knockoff and I'll be like, I don't really like knockoff, but I use it. I use the heck out of it. But I've never really liked it because I put it in my wheel bucket, right? I don't like to spray it on wheels and use it. I always put it in my wheel bucket, and that kind of is what, sloshes my brushes around and stuff. And so I started using it a couple weeks ago in my IK sprayer, my big one. Mm-hmm. So I started doing this mixture of knockoff and brake buster. So I fill up my whole container with knockoff because it's hooked up to my chemtrail, so it's easy to fill that IK sprayer. So I found this out through being entirely lazy. And so I would fill it. I can't fill it up with Absolute because Absolute will kill the brake buster. And I don't like lifting it up in the sink and filling it up with water. So I became lazy and just started filling it up with knockoff. And then I was like, well, that's not strong enough. And so then I would add like 2 cups of brake buster to my IK sprayer. And so that was great. And it makes like the thickest, foamiest, best wheel cleaner. And it's so great. So that's my new magic mixture. So I have come to love knockoff. And jokingly yesterday, I said, I think I need to order a 5 of knockoff because it's like, it's moving up on the roster, which is so funny because not that I talk poorly about it, but I just have openly said, yeah, it's not my favorite. But yeah, so shout out to knockoff.
And there we have it. I'm actually going to go with 2 products that are kind of not our products, but are our products. My products of the week, because I realized I have one on my wall. Josh, you and Sid saw it in the shop this summer. I never connected it up because my shop was a train wreck for the last 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the chemtrail and the free ride pad system. So a little outside the chemical box, but I've always been an equipment guy, and God, it was so fun to just tune your system up the other day, Sid. And I look at it and go, we've had that thing in there for like 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, going on 6, really, like 5.5. Yeah. I mean, it's and that was kind of the thing was I was like, oh, it needs some maintenance because there was some stuff clogged and some stuff, a part of the problem with mine is some things I don't use enough, right, to keep the pipes flowing. And so it needed maintenance, and man, I love my chemtrail so much. So thank you. I'm so excited that it's all working and tuned up now. I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm excited to be like full-fledged Absolute. So excited.
And then, the free ride pad system is so fun because really, for 90% of detailers out there, you use rehab and all you got to do is tune that pad to the right outcome. And off you go. And we had a perfect opportunity for that this weekend, and it showed so well. And shout out to our good friend Tony with Buff and Shine, who made us some little pad stands for our booth.
Yeah, those were so cute.
And some other little critters that maybe will make some appearances as we go through the year. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to get some royalties off those.
yeah.
Totally.
Well, Amber's diving in here, and she says 2 product shout outs from me today. First is Stout. Did my second wash. It's been a month since installation, and this is still the best coating I've ever used. Still slick and still shiny and beating. And she's got a continuation comment coming. So
yeah, but can we talk about that for a minute? Because I mean, I've been installing Stout for a long time, but now I'm starting to get a lot more of the maintenance cars back in, and cars that maybe I don't wash. My kids do the car washes. So I work on my own. And so I know it's great, but let's be real, my car's a little bit of a test bed. So I can't always read too much into it. But when you get those cars back that aren't in my control every day and you go to wash it, I mean, it is a different wash. I've never seen a coating that holds up like that to washes, where you do it and you're like, there is something different on here. It is so different. And yeah, the washing experience of Stout
it's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And with the other 5 you're going to buy, right, or get sent to you, which is Radiance, because what an experience to wash a Stout coated car with Radiance.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So
yeah.
We were talking about that, and she's like, what do I really need that much? I'm like, I think the more Stout cars that come back, the more you're going to be using Radiance. So
yeah. Josh, have you done that as a maintenance wash yet, where you foam with Frostbite and then wash with Radiance?
Yeah, I actually did that last time we talked about it. And that
oh my gosh, it's so good, right?
It's like
awesome. So good. Yeah, Joey came up with that. Joey Belinsky came up with that. But man, that is a good wash combo.
Yeah, we did that on our Asia tour, and we coated the car the day before. And of course, we're not supposed to wash it for 2 days, but we're only there for 2 days, so we washed it the next day with the Frostbite and the Radiance thing, and it was like, whoa. What did we just see here? What just happened? So
yeah, I love that wash.
All right, so I'm going to come back to Travis. We'll finish Amber's thought here.
Okay.
Second is Carpet Bomber and Terminator. Put them on my filthy white canvas shoes, then couldn't clean until a day later. Applied water and scrub with a brush, and they are beautiful and white again.
It's a big fluffy tail in front of me.
Archie has made an appearance.
Oh boy. All over.
Yeah, Amber, that is a great combo for cleaning white sneakers. But I think between the 3 of us, our favorite, and if you haven't tried it, you should, is Brake Buster to clean, especially the red on the shoe. I can see though doing the canvas with the carpet for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, Travis is in, and he has a question. Can Defender be used as a drying aid? Ready, set, go.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, but I would use it. I mean,
it's not my favorite. Here's the thing. Defender doesn't exactly love water.
No.
Hello. So you absolutely can do it. I just think there's better offerings.
Yeah.
Defender doesn't love water as much as some of the other products. So, I mean, you can absolutely do it. I just don't think it's the best. I think Defender shines on a dry car. The thing about using it as a drying aid is, I'll be honest, you're kind of using an expensive drying aid to not really know what the benefits you're getting are, because Defender really needs to cross-link with dry paint. So it's going to work and it's going to be on there, but we could never tell you what protection you're leaving behind, because I'm not sure if it's really had a chance to work. So personally, I use like Bead Maker as a drying aid, or paint gloss, or not paint gloss. Yeah, paint gloss is a better drying aid. What?
Spray it.
Oh yeah.
Spray it. Yeah.
And then I put Defender on top. The great thing about Defender is it works with all of those that I just listed. So you can put Defender on top of any of those. And so the answer is yes, but the real answer is it's probably not your best option though.
Yeah. Well, I just think, bang for your buck. Bead Maker's, I think, the best way to go.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Just it seems like it's found its niche there.
Yeah.
I would say
Bead Maker likes water, Defender doesn't so much.
Yeah, I just think Defender is a dry application product. You know, it's kind of that every 6-month product is the way to go. So,
yeah.
But hey, if you like it and you love it and you want to do it, I'm not going to tell you. So
totally. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff says it's therapy for me, and I know this is one that is both aromatherapy and just therapy for the paint in general. So
therapy was actually a pretty big conversation at the IDA meet and greet yesterday. Everybody's like super impressed with it.
Yeah. It is just so good, and it is one of those where, you know, when we're going through development of a product, we put it through the paces, we try it, we do all this stuff, you know, but I look at it from a different lens, I guess, at that point. You know, I'm trying to make it fail. I'm trying to pick it apart. All of that. But then once it came out and I actually started to just integrate it into my business, like authentically, like not testing, I was like, holy cow. And like the jams that it has gotten me out of. And, you know, there's always in paint correction, there's the, you know, you go, well, this product works better, but it leaves behind a lot, or it leaves a lot of marring, or it's drying the paint out. You know, I remember the first time that therapy really came to bat for me was I was doing that little black Porsche, and rehab was like leaving the haze in the paint, almost like I would wipe it off and you could still see all the passes. And I was like, what's going on? But it was doing a really great job correcting it. And I wasn't really sure what to do. And I mean, literally 2 passes over with therapy on a black pad made it perfect.
Yeah.
So now it's almost like I know that I have that tool that will make every paint correction, no matter what happens, look perfect. And so that just takes a lot of stress out of it. But man, therapy is so good.
Yeah.
So good. And I have to laugh when people go, but I really like Envy. I don't want to stop using Envy. I'm like, I promise you one time you will stop using everything else. Everything else, not just Envy, everything else.
Yeah, I think Envy's just a fantastic product, but the bandwidth of what you can do for, you know, removal of marring with therapy is just a little bit, well, quite a bit broader than Envy.
Well, user friendly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Envy is the most user friendly product.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And I'm a big fan of Envy, but I got to tell you, just therapy is taking over. So
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Alex says that knockoff. So
yeah, they got to use it. I made them. So these guys got to borrow the Mini Cooper, but I made them wash it before they could take it. And so they got to use the knockoff mix in the iCase.
Still a pretty cheap rental, you know.
Yeah, I actually think I still have a video. I probably need to make a video with that. I have Joey spraying knockoff for the first time. Pretty sure it went everywhere.
That's always a fun one when we get Joey to see something new that we've been playing with. So
yeah.
Well, good morning, BK from Singapore. Awesome to have you.
Good morning.
Actually, good afternoon for him. So we got
Colorado. Good morning from North Georgia.
Yes. Hey, look at this. I'm going to see this guy this week. Miguel, good morning. Yeah.
Miguel's got a couple classes this week, doesn't he?
He does. He's got 2 Spanish classes Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll see him at the meet and greet and during his class on Wednesday. And then I'll be bailing on him. He'll be flying solo on Thursday. So, and we had some cool cars lined up for him this week. We got a really cool coating car lined up for him this week. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to Archie because he's our #1 mascot, other than the guy over Josh's shoulder and Fat Joe. Speaking of which, my baby Joe.
Oh shoot! I can go grab mine. So funny. So last night I was talking to Tony. I brought the little Fat Joe in, right? And I was showing my family, and they all were like, "Well, I feel like that looks like Archie." So I sent Tony a message, and I said, "So if we just turned all the part like opposite white and opposite the black and gray or white or whatever it was gray," and I said, "Make the body white and make the black rings gray and put blue eyes, it would literally look exactly like Archie, the raccoon 3D thing, right?" And so he did a mock-up last night and it looks just like Archie. So he's just going to use that same file and make little Archies. Archie looks like a raccoon.
Bead Maker Archie. Here we go.
Yep.
Remarkable. Hey, good morning, Mark. Definitely confirm that stout is amazing. Yeah, Mark was a very early adopter of stout, and he's down in Arizona in the heat and having good success with it.
Yeah, so I have had, so like I mentioned earlier, my car is kind of like a test bed. It's got a lot of different coatings on it. There's a lot going on. But there's one section that when we were doing the testing for stout, there's one section that I've left completely untreated. So I haven't clayed it, I haven't crystal washed it, I haven't done anything. So stout's been on there for only about 15 months maybe. And it's still like, I just coated it. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. When I foam the car, there's foam, and then it just falls off on that panel. So it's pretty funny.
Funny. What was funny this weekend is we got in her car. We were going somewhere. We had some guests with us. Some friends.
Oh, we forgot to tell that story. It's such a fun story.
And so, of course, Brian Crosby is with us, and Sean Sepulveda is with us. And I think Brian said, "Hey, do you have any coating on this car?" And he's like, "I've got everything on this car."
Yeah, but Josh, we went to the whole day. I kept telling Keith, find me an old school car wash. Like, I want a full service car wash. And he's like, they don't exist anymore. And so he's looking and we couldn't find one. So we go pick up Sean and Brian, and I'm embarrassed. My car's got these nasty, like poopy yellow bugs all over it, right? Like messy bugs. And so I was just so embarrassed. And so I was like, we've got to get this car washed, and I want a full service car wash. I want somebody that's going to like wipe all the door jams down and stuff. So we're driving down the street and we literally look over and there is like this rundown car wash shack. And I am not kidding when I say that. And it says full service car wash. And it was so old. It's like nothing had been updated since maybe 1991. And we pull in there and it's $30 for full inside and out. And they have, what do you call those things? They were wheel sprayers.
So they had wheel spinners, wheel blasters, and they're the side
whole car
blasters, they're the body blasters, they're everything.
Yeah, they're the whole car.
And it's a touchless wash, so it's it's chemical only and high pressure. So
right, it was crazy. But so we went through that, and it was totally janky. And we get to the end, and we go inside of the office, which is crazy. And I mean, could not have been a cooler experience. They did such a good job, and the employees were like top notch. They were so respectful and so good, and the owner was so passionate about what he was doing. And I like literally, if anybody here is in Utah, like prompt car wash on, I think it was on State Street.
Yep.
Coolest experience ever. It was literally from 91. It's a little bit sketchy. It's a little bit scary, but holy cow, they do such a good job. And it is like that old school, they wipe it down, vacuum, clean your windows, put tire dressing on. So great.
That's awesome.
It was so awesome.
It's a tunnel.
They had receipts that they had to write down what you were ordering.
Yeah, they had ticket books, the whole 9 yards. But it's a tunnel, and you come to the end of the tunnel. Most washes, it's a straight shot through, right? It looks like a tunnel. This thing, you go in and you just keep going. All of a sudden, the car has to turn right, and the entire like full serve area is undercover, which is perfect for Utah. Because in the winter, I can imagine that it would be very nice to work inside. But one of his employees went to check out, and the rapport he had with that guy. He was such a respectful employee, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to work on Monday?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll take all the hours I can get. I'll work on Monday." And he was asking them about, the employee about their schooling and what they needed for work. And it was just, I was just like, wow, it's still, they're still here. So
it was a really good experience. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, well, we love our Wipe and Shine, Alex. We do love that.
Yes, the Wipe and Shine. So generally speaking, Wipe and Shine is everybody's favorite, right? Like I know Bob, Dave, me, Mike, everybody loves the Wipe and Shine.
Yeah. All right. So here's a good question. Morning, guys. Are you ready for SEMA 2026? No. Will it be a big year for PNS announcements? Thanks in advance. Wish you a great day. Well, not that we ever tell anybody that we have anything coming, even if we do have anything coming. I don't know. What do you want to say on that one? Are we letting any
probably plead the fifth? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Yep, the raccoon is staying in the sack. No, we're not telling anybody. So there you go. All right. Can Iron Buster be diluted further? I think any water-soluble product can be diluted. I think with that product, it is an instant reaction type product where it interacts with the iron. I think that's probably going to make it less effective, and I'm not sure that there's a lot of return on investment in diluting the product. I think straight is the way to go. Just you don't need to saturate the paint for sure. I mean, just a mist over the surface should give you the effect you're looking for. So that would be my answer. What do you think, Josh? Am I on track there?
I would think so. I mean, in my mind, minerals in the water could, affect.
Well, there is that. I have seen that where people have hard water or well water, and all of a sudden the product starts to turn purple on them in the bottle. So probably best to just use it ready to use.
Yeah.
And I know that makes it an expensive use, but that's why we say Crystal Wash and other decon products. Claying is going to do a lot of contamination removal, more so than iron removal. And then if you have iron, then that's the answer. We only use it and teach in our class. We really only use it as a focused iron remover if you have an iron issue.
Yeah.
All right. What's the shelf life? I'm going to edit here on an open bottle of stout. Just curious.
So typically we're going to say 2 to 3 weeks, closed real tight, put in a dark cabinet. That's kind of the official answer. I have used a bottle that's been open much longer than that, and it seemed to work just fine. I probably wouldn't try to make a habit of that. But if you have a bottle that's, been open for longer than that, as long as it goes on and removes normally, I think you're fine. But if you are going to be storing it, just make sure, close the lid really tight and put it in a dark cabinet. Don't leave it out exposed to UV light. Even lights in our shop still have UV in them. So just put it in a dark place. That will help the, curing of it, I guess. But I wouldn't make a habit of keeping it around too long, but I also wouldn't necessarily throw it out. Because we have some, Keith, our ones in the training center, they get left for 4 weeks at a time sometimes. And, they seem to be okay. I actually have this bottle sitting on my desk and I'm thinking, oh, there's there's a couple good, could probably use that. It's been there a couple months.
Yeah. Well, and I think Sid's right on the point. 1 to 2 weeks. The thing we would say is, a 30 ml bottle is really a 1-car.
Yeah.
So, our advice would be if you're going to buy 50 mils because you have an intent to use it for 2 cars, plan to have, to need it in a shorter time period than a month. So, if you're doing one here and there and you're not sure when your next one is, you might be better off to be buying the 30 mils until you get a little more volume up.
Right.
All right. Amber says, thank you for the tip about Brake Buster. Well, of course, we love Brake Buster on our shoes. If you don't, she doesn't have any, but she's working her way through another brand's wheel and tire cleaner. Well, use that stuff up, and when you get the chance to get some Brake Buster, you'll enjoy it.
Yep.
Louise from Livermore, good morning. Come see me on Wednesday, IDA meet and greet, 4 to 6:30 at PNS East Bay, which is basically the mothership factory store. All right. Yes, it is a good night there. I think they are 13 or 14 hours different from us on the West Coast. So,
oh, wow. Crazy.
Yeah, they're 2/3 of a day ahead of Josh. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, everyone.
Italy. Nice.
Wow, nice.
XM6 Ghost must be on vacation.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Well, and then he asked us what our dream cars are, and I'm like, dude, you're in the home of dream cars. What are your dreams? All right, Josh, what's your dream car? I don't know what it is since you're building it right now.
Yeah, I've got 3 dream cars. I own 2 of them. The one I don't have, is the Nissan GTR yet. That's coming. So.
Now, what are the other 2 though? Come on, you're working on
1964 Chevy C10 pickup, which we are building, and we are way over budget, but that's okay. Then I've always wanted a 2005 Pontiac GTO. They're
Nice.
not like special cars, but they're kind of just,
Yeah.
we were younger when those things came out, and they were cool as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you
And I
just
bought
acquired them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I swear he's related to the guys at the rag company. Every time you turn around, Josh is getting a new car. So, or not a new car, but a car.
It's
So.
a sickness.
Yeah. Sid, what's yours? You can't say the Jeep.
So there's a couple. Probably first and foremost, if we talk about the ones that I'll never get but would love, would be a Porsche GT3 or GT3 RS or whatever, any one of those I would take. Would really love to have one of those, but that will never happen because they cost more than my house. And then realistically, but probably would never happen again because I wouldn't pay this much for this old of a car, but I really would love to have, I think they're 2005 or 2006 Cadillac CTS wagons, the V wagons.
Yep.
In a manual transmission. Those are so cool, but they go for like $100,000. I'm not spending that much on a 2006. And then honestly, we had this discussion a couple weeks ago. I don't remember who I was with, but we were talking about if you won the lottery, what would be the first cars you'd buy? And honestly, for me, before I bought any of those, I would buy all the cars I've already owned first. Like I would make my collection of, I would try to buy every car I've ever owned because I've owned a lot of cool cars that would not be cool to anybody else but me. And I miss every one of them. Probably the only one I don't miss, I had a Dodge Neon. I had a 2005 Dodge Neon. I don't really miss that car. It was the RT and it was cute, but I don't miss that car. But I would buy I would buy my first car. I'd buy my second. I'd buy all the cars I've owned again. And I did have a 2008 Pontiac G8.
Oh yeah.
I would buy that. I want that back bad. That'd probably actually be the first one I'd get back would be the G8. That was a cool car.
Yeah.
But so I'd probably buy all those first and then start working on some of my other dream cars. But really, I probably have a dream garage more so than I have dream cars that I'd like to own.
Yeah.
But yeah, the list would go on and on. But I mean, there would be Chevy Silverados and stuff in there just because I just want all the cars back that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Keith?
Yeah, I think a Singer Porsche. I want a Singer Porsche.
There you go.
I've always loved
cool.
that. I've kind of loved that retro mod kind of look. I just think it'd be fantastic. I'm a little like Sid. I might go back and get one of my old cars. I had a 64 Dodge Dart that was a push button automatic with a slant 6 in it. And I just thought that was just a neat car, so I'd probably go back and get one of those.
Yeah.
I always thought I wanted a Pantera until I got to drive one and then realized that that fix took one car ride to get over. Really.
That was the worst ride ever. Did you ride in it, Josh, or did you just see it?
No,
oh God, I had to ride to that. Remember, I had to ride all over St. Louis in it. That was the worst ride ever. And poor Matt, he was so uncomfortable driving it. I mean, that thing is it's not a driver.
But I think my daily
cool
driver that I want to get is a C6 BMW. Just
okay.
I always thought that car just had the best lines. I mean, it was just a gorgeous car, and it's that right in between, the total new modern look of what the BMW's got to, and that really vintage style of kind of the classic tours from the the 60s and 70s. So, I would hate to put tires on that son of a gun because tires are impossible to get. But those would probably be my top ones. So.
Nice.
All right. Well, back on track here. Good morning, fam. Good morning, John. We got a question coming in. Good morning. Can Clarity Cream be hand applied, or is it better with a buffer polisher? If better, what would you recommend for an all-around buffer or for an enthusiast? So, a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So for like 25 years, the direction said to use by hand. Honestly. So the answer to that is yes, it absolutely can be used by hand. However, obviously with a buffer polisher has made life a lot easier. It's a lot more uniform. So I think that it's obviously better with it, but if you don't have one and you just need to use it, then knock yourself out. You know what I mean? It does work pretty good. And I've used it just cleaning up like the edge of a window or something by hand, but it obviously is better with a polisher. So what would you recommend for an all-around buffer for an enthusiast? Josh, what would you recommend for that?
I mean, there's some really good lower priced professional polishers out there like Barjack, Liquid Elements. I would look into one of those. They're reasonably priced polishers.
Yep. I would even say the Griot's 3-inch tool is a good tool. I mean, that is so budget friendly. And I would say if you're buying a tool to polish glass, then get a 3-inch tool.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
The absolute there, because it just gives you the versatility to kind of do all the shapes and sizes of windows you're going to have. And then I would say if you're going to do it by hand, I would get 4-aught, 40, so 0000 aught steel wool. And I would probably on real glass, an exterior only, I would use it for water spot removal in that way. But you can use a towel. A microfiber towel is fine. Even a cotton terry towel is fine for glass if you're going to polish that way. But it's darn sure a big difference if you get a tool out, because it's just life is so much better. Yeah. But you don't have to have a tool to do it. No. Yeah. And by the way, it's also a great real chrome polish. So when you go work on Josh's truck and its bumpers are chrome, the real steel chrome, it's a fantastic chrome polish as well. Yeah. All right. Mark Warr says he's got a boat this week. Lots of water stains. Your suggestion, crystal wash or something else? Ooh.
Yeah. So crystal wash is probably never going to remove water spots, to be honest. I don't know about you, Josh. You might use real acid. I use Bead spot solver. So I have 2 boats this week too, and I have one out here right now that I'm going to be soaking it down with spot solver and then going right into my wash, to be honest. So Keith, remember last year when I sent you guys that video of doing spot solver and then just washing right after? That's the boat I have, and it looks exactly the same as it did last year when it came in. So the spot solver honestly is great. But crystal wash is probably never going to remove water spots. It's a great pre-wash and all that. It's great to use on boats, but it's not going to remove your water spots probably.
Yeah, it's definitely an organic or mild acid from that perspective. I would think water spot removal. We have a product. It's really fancy name. It's called Water Spot Remover. You'd have to get that through a local distributor. And Mark, in your case, you know who those guys are. And that one you could dilute 4 or 5 to 1 and get some mileage out of. But I would probably use spot solve, especially on a boat, just because the gel coat is a softer surface material. And I think that's probably your best bet to do that. Yeah. All right. Amber, I think, has won the stretch prize of the day because she got 2 subcompacts out of a 30 ml bottle of stout.
Nice. That's impressive. That is really impressive. I'm too heavy-handed.
Well, you're sponsored athlete user. That's good. So she's putting it on the pad, demoing how to do it at the show. Bob goes, you can tell she's a sponsored athlete.
Good job, Amber. That's awesome. There should be like a competition. I like to use a lot. John, I saw this comment coming up. Dude, all 3 of those absolutely would be on my list. The 87 Grand National, absolutely. And yes, there's nothing cooler than a C6 CR1.
No.
Great choices. Great choices.
Those are great choices.
And of course, the GT3 RS was already on my list. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, the Grand National would be a fun car to have.
Yeah.
I think after the first set of tires, it'd probably be moved on to a friend from somewhere else. So.
Yeah.
And I suppose throw in there some other fun cars like that. But
okay, so Sarah says I actually got my first car I ever owned, a '95 Beretta. That's awesome.
Oh my
I
God.
love it. Nobody else does but me and my first love. Hopefully one day it gets customized by Rad Rides by Troy. That is so funny. There's just some cars you don't hear about, and then when you hear about them, they just make you laugh. They just make you smile.
My dad had a Beretta, and I loved it.
Yeah. What was that Cadillac, that weird Cadillac that all the old folks drove in the 80s that was like super fancy that you never hear about, but it was cheap? Mm-hmm. It was like sedan. A lot of times it was a convertible. Oh, the Alante?
Yep.
Yeah, the Alante.
Yes, the Cadillac Alante. I saw one of those last summer and I was like, what the heck? So funny. I grew up in a golf community, so of course, like all the little, old couples had like the Cadillac Alante.
Well, that's better than the Cadillac Cimarron, which was just.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, I love a good Beretta. That brings back some memories.
I think the Cimarron was a Buick Skylark in disguise. So.
Yeah.
You know you're old when you're talking about cars from the 80s. There you go. Is therapy and rehab safe for trim? I use a spray polish now. Want to use my arsenal, but hate taping.
One is, one isn't.
Yeah.
Rehab probably is not, but again, you could come back and remove most of rehab with some therapy, or you could just. I think if you watch your edges, an old detail trick that Josh and I know is pre-dress your trim if you're going to think you're going to be driving over it. That certainly helps with problems. So.
Yeah, I kind of just stay away. I hate taping too. Literally hate it with all of my being. Yeah, I rarely tape. And so I usually just stay, a quarter inch away from the trim, and then I kind of go back over the trim with therapy and hit that quarter inch and it all blends together. So.
Yeah, I think the only time I really want to tape is if the trim is so deteriorated that I'm worried that it could get damaged. Otherwise, I just try to work careful and work smart about it.
Yeah.
Hey, fan of the show, Chris Robertson. Hey, Chris, how are you, man?
Chris,
on today.
Good morning.
Yeah. Mark Barr's like, I got that. I knew you would, Mark. All right. I would totally buy a Roadster style, BMW or Lexus Roadster. It would be my daily commuter. Then I'd have to finally make up my mind about what kind of outdoors camping car I want.
Oh, luckily I'll never have to figure that out. That will never be my problem.
Hey, if I could get my Army Jeep back, I would take it. But yeah.
That's too funny.
I'm not going camping. I just would love to have my Jeep.
Yeah.
I could care less if I ever got my Humvee back, but the Army Jeep I would do.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. Jeff is like, love the Grand Nationals. Yeah, dude.
Actually, when we were in that antique store and we were looking at the Knight Rider wall, Sean actually said, man, can you imagine if the Knight Rider would have been a Grand National? It would have been so much cooler.
Yeah. All right, we got one from John here. Let's see what John's got for us. Good morning, all. Last episode, you talked about Spray It, which I purchased and have been enjoying. I believe you also talked about using it with a clay scrubber.
Oh, yeah. Josh, you were going to try that for us.
That works pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah.
You like the finish that it gave?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Did you like it more than just spray it? Okay.
No. I mean, I don't think it's anywhere close to using Bead Maker with a clay scrubber. But I mean, it worked good.
Okay. So it worked, but not necessarily not your newfound favorite technique. Good to know. But John, glad you bought it and loved it. You love it. That's awesome.
All right, here's a good question. This is a technique question. I think it's worth having. So Steve says, do you all use things like door props and hood props when polishing? Have any recommendations on where to get them? My answer is no, but I probably should. And I know what he's talking about. For those in the audience who don't, you may prop a hood open so you have the edge lines that you can get to. So you might have a 2-3 inch kind of spring on the hood, and definitely on the trunk. A lot of times it's hard to get down in there, or it's hard to get into the bumper where it's molded in. And so people will pop that trunk up, and I have seen them. They are, steel rods that have a catch on each end.
Yeah, remember Levi used to have.
Used to have those, and you literally plug it into the locking mechanism on both parts of the trunk, and you can do it for hatchbacks too. I've seen those. I don't know where to get them. What's your thought on having them, Josh?
I don't use them. I don't have them. Well, my body shop has them, but we don't in the detail shop. I think they're a great idea.
Yeah, I don't have them. I don't use them. But I do open the doors a lot when I'm polishing, depending on the vehicle. Like I know for sure Jeeps, I open the doors and polish around them because you can't get to like the, around the door bolts and stuff. But usually I just open them, and definitely on SUVs, I open, the back door. I don't generally worry about the hoods unless it's like a fancy car, like, you know, an old classic car, like a Firebird Camaro, whatever. Then I'll open the hood to make sure that I'm getting in all those. But usually I just open them. But I do remember now that you say that, that Levi used to have a steel rod that would connect to both. And I don't know where he got it. But it was pretty cool. I mean, I remember when he had it, it was, you know, I remember if you go back to I think it was our Soul video. This is years ago. I think it was in the Soul video, popping up the RAV4 tailgate. So yeah, I've seen them, but I don't have one.
So Levi, if you're out there, brother, hit us up. If any of you know where to get those things, you know, throw them in the Bead Maker Lounge. Tell everybody. Not going to offend any of us. They are kind of a good tool if you're doing a lot of that kind of work. So, all right. Steve Pearson is like, ugh, my business is Turbo 6 Details, named after the Buick Grand National. Misses his.
You had one, Steve, and you got rid of it?
What?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That's too bad.
Yeah. Chad Emerson's telling us to stay away from the edges. Man, you just gotta work the edges the right way.
You gotta have some control. Yeah.
First car, 62 Nash Metropolitan at 14 years old. I was stoked. Okay, that is a cool car. My mom had a Nash Metropolitan too when she was long before I was ever around. Yeah, just such a neat car. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Kamikaze makes door prop. Okay, there you go. Leave it to Alex to know that.
Alex, do they sell those on Amazon?
I bet they do. I bet they can be found on the Zone.
I like stuff that says it'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that like drives your buying.
Oh yeah, totally. Because I'm like, if I have to wait a week, I'll be over it by then. But if it can be here tomorrow between 4 and 7 a.m.,
bye.
All about it. Totally.
Yeah. So Christopher has a great point here. Pool noodles.
Okay.
Great space under hood and doors. Yeah, I can see that, you know, especially if you're being able to push down or against it. Problem with the tailgate is, you know, you can
it wants to open. Yeah.
They're going to be pushing down. So
right.
That's where you would need like a bar. So
yeah. Well, and the bar holds that tailgate down where you can still polish it, right? It's not all the way up. Because obviously, like if I put one up in the tailgate, there's been plenty of times where I'm like holding it down with like my elbow and polishing, you know? And so, that, you know, if it's up while you're doing the lip and then it's down and then now, you know, and so, the thing that Levi had, now that I think about it, it was perfect for holding it right at the right angle where you could still polish the door.
Yeah. And I remember it was adjustable. So you could just lock it in whatever depth or if you wanted it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to find one of those. Jeez.
We're calling Levi right after this.
I hadn't thought about it in like 4 years. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so since you were talking about Grand Nationals, what do you recommend for single stage paint? My dad's just gotten a little nervous to work on it.
Ultra coat polish.
Always the answer. There you go.
Yeah. And I will say this about single stage. It's very, you'll get very nervous, but then once you start doing it, you'll wish all cars were single stage. Yeah.
Now, if you're doing correction on it, there's no harm in doing rehab or intervention on there, but you might want to finish with the Ultra Coat because you're going to get the hydration out of it, and it's really designed to be more friendly to whoa, that's weird.
Whoa. Well, somebody just put in a link and it's just really long.
Whoa.
I know our side screens just went a little crazy, but then I realized it's a link because I can read the word spring something.
Yeah. So, I would say single stage paint. And if it's not too bad, Ultra Coat polish is probably your best start point. Yeah, for sure. All right. Alex goes, thanks, dude. There we go. All right. Here we go. I really like hearing about all these products such as knockoff and spray it. It would be neat to see a dedicated extended video that shows all these lesser known products. That would be a good video.
Maybe we could pick like our favorite lesser known product and do a video. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, Amber, you will get production credit for that video if and when we do it. So there we go. So I'm going to just throw this up here, but it'll be in the chat notes so that way everybody can see it. That's the link. I think that's the adjustable jammer support. So there we go. Look at that.
Okay, cool. On the Amazon. Nice. Okay. I'm going to look. I'm gonna look. That's exciting.
That's our last comment there. So
Sweet. All right,
why.
let's go all shopping on Amazon.
Heck yeah.
To the Quattro.
All right, so let's talk. Since we're out of comments, let's talk about what's coming up. I think you both have stuff. We already talked about the IDA meet and greets. So please look in your local area. If you have one, go support it. It's definitely an effort that the IDA has put forth this week to get those meet and greets kind of all at the same week. And we've actually had a ton of really great response. I mean, there's a lot of them going on in a lot of different places. So definitely check those out. And then you two both have training this week, right?
Yep.
We do. So I kick it off here in 15 minutes. So we have basically complete detail day. So interior, exterior. And then I think we're doing a Volvo today. And then tomorrow we got a 68 or 69 Camaro, all black coating day. And then then I hand the ball off to Miguel. And Miguel has his interior, exterior day on Wednesday. And then he's got his coating day on Thursday. And somewhere in there we got a meet and greet. And then Josh picks up the baton on, are you Friday this week or are you Thursday?
Friday we're all in detail day, and then Saturday we're ceramic day. So we have trainings every day at PNS this week.
Wow.
That's right. We have the full meal deal. If you want it in Spanish, we got it. You want it in Keith list, you got it. You want it in Josh list, you got that. So there you go.
Nice. Nice.
Do you have a home football? You don't have a home football game this weekend, because otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be learning on their own. You'll be over at the stadium.
Yeah, they'll be learning on their own. I like that.
And then we kind of close out the month for us with that. And then we kind of look at October, and October's got some cool stuff too. So we've got training week again. We have a couple of grand openings for some partners that we have to announce where we'll be at when those come up. And then we're right up against the back end of SEMA. And we are also trying to put together, and as you guys saw in the intro, trying to do our international partner training the week before we go to SEMA. So we'll see if we can get that knocked out as well. So we are certainly not taking the fall off. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. This is always the time when it gets real busy with, planning SEMA, getting the stuff we need to take to SEMA. We'll have to wait and see if there's new products announced at SEMA. That will be fun. So yeah, and now it's just SEMA prep, and man, the next couple of weeks always goes by really, really fast.
Yeah,
always. So
yeah, and speaking of initiatives, I mean, Josh and I have Global Skills Validation Week, the week of our training. So, kind of 2 months in a row, we've got an IDA event that kind of folds in with what we're doing with our training centers, which is cool. It's kind of neat to bring people together. So,
Yep. I've got 2 boats this week. I'll be here working alone. I've got 2 boats this week, and then I've got I always enjoy these for some reason. I have a Toyota Tundra that I've coated in 2020 with Inspiration Classic, and it's coming in tomorrow, and it's kind of a purple color. It's a really unique Tundra, and it's going to move up to stout, and so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for this customer to have. I mean, he's had such a great experience because Inspiration has lasted 5 years, and it's just a great coating, but it's not that flashy. So I'm kind of excited for him to have like flashy coating. So I love when cars come back for their second coating. It makes me feel good that the customer saw the value in it, that they're willing to do it again. And then I just enjoy seeing what that coating did to like stop aging for the vehicles. So I love when cars come back for coatings. I think it's great. So I have a good, fun week ahead.
Josh, what's in the shop today? Just the regular run of cars or anything special?
Yep, the regular mom and pop cars. And I got to work on my truck this week because we had a setback with our motor. So that's.
Uh-oh. I want to hear that story. That sounds interesting. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm glad we didn't throw off anybody's schedule with skipping a week last week, but we did that so that we could be on schedule for SEMA, so that we had you guys the week before SEMA and the week after, not the Monday of SEMA, because that can tend to be just a little bit chaotic. So,
especially for those of us flying in on Monday mornings.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. We will be busy little beavers for the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Yep. All right.
Have a good week, everyone.